Okay everyone, so in this video lesson, let's just try to talk about how we can try to create a quick calculator. Just going to create an index.html file so that we can practice using JavaScript and CSS file or folder that will have, or let's first have a JavaScript folder also. And here let's have a styles.css. Here let's create a quick template. And here let's say simple JS calculator, and inside of that we'll have a script tag that will be using a source to our JS folder, and we'll need to create a script.js file. So those are the files that we'll need for this project. And in the index.html file, we would need to create some link to our style sheet, and that will be styles.css. And in here, let's have a div container, and let's also have a div that calculator, or a div that will have a class calculator. And let's have an input type text, and let's give it an ID of display. And we can also say read only attribute. So you would see here we have that read only attribute added. Let's have line break here, and let's have some buttons that will have 1, 2, 3, 4. Then let's have another line break here. Then this 4 1 will be the add sign or character. Then we'll have 4, 5, 6, and then the minus character or the subtraction character. Let's have another line break here. Then let's have 6, 7, 8, 9, and then the multiplication character. Then for here we have 0. We'll have the C character, and we'll have the equal sign and the division character. Okay, and all of this will have an onClick attribute, but let's start to work on that later on. Let's start to first style this. I'm just going to reveal that on so that you'll see how it looks now here, right? So that's how it looks on our end. And from here we also want to add some, I think I deleted the let's refresh. Okay, so we have some of the characters that a calculator would normally have, right? And now let's try to add some stylings. So let's go to our styles.css. I've already gotten some color palette for this. So these are just primary, ADC for CE. You can choose your own color palette for this. But for me, I'm going to use this color palette that I got from Color Hunt. 6B, 6C, 5. And then let's have an accent 1, EEE 0 C9, and accent 2 F1, F0, E8. Okay, so we'll have some background color, the variable primary. Then here we'll target the container. We have that container here. And in the container, we want to have height of 100 ph. Display will be flex. Align items will be center. Then let's target the class calculator with the background color of var accent 1. Then let's give it a border of 5 pixels solid black. Then let's have a border radius 5%. And of course you can play around with the values that we have here. Let's have 300 pixels. Give this a margin of 0 auto for left and right. And let's align the text to center. Let's first try to see what that looks like now. And we have that simple calculator there. Let's go back to our, and I'm going to use the selector attribute, and that's the array element characters, right? We use that, and I'm going to target the text attribute. I'm going to give it a minimum width of 100%, padding of 10 pixels, margin bottom of 10 pixels. Then let's target all of the buttons, and let's give them some properties here of width 50 pixels, height of 50 pixels, margin of 5 pixels, font size of 18 pixels. Let's now look at our styling, and we now have that simple calculator for the styling. Of course, we need to make this work, and we'll have 3 functions to combine for us to be able to work on this. So I'm going to create a function that I will call append to display. Then I'm going to pass in an argument or a parameter, but I'm going to say value. And we will target the document get element by ID of the DOM, and we will be targeting this display ID, and we know that the display ID is referencing the ID that we have in the input element here. Okay, so it's a read-only value. And if we go back here, what we want to do is to get the value. Then we will add additional assignment operator and give it the value of itself, right? So here we'll have another function that will be clearing the display. And then let's have the document that get element by ID, and let's give it a display that value, and let's give it an empty value. And let's have a function calculate that will be having the try catch syntax. So we'll have const result, assign eval method, and document that get element by ID, and let's target that display ID dot value. So these are just going to be storing the value that we got using that eval method. Document that get element by ID display that value, and let's give it the value of the result that we got once we targeted this display value, the value of the input element that we have here, right? And this is running into an error because this is a try catch error syntax. So here, if we encounter an error, we'll be giving it, so I can call that error or error, and then document.get element. You see the error is now gone. Get element by ID, and let's give that a display value and a text that we can call error. So this is one syntax that you would normally see, which is the try catch syntax that allows you to try something once you try to run this code. When we try to calculate or call this function, then also if there's an error, we get to have this catch statement here. The try statement and the catch statement works if we get to encounter an error. And now, of course, we'll have to make this. You would see this is still not going to work. Right, so you'll see we're not able to make the buttons work yet, but we can make it function by calling some of the methods that we have here through the use of the onClick attribute. Right, so let's try to first target all of them, because we'll be using that append to display function, so that we can try to go and just put all of this here. Let's have an onClick attribute on all of them, and I'm going to paste that append to display. We're going to call that, and inside of that we'll have the one, save that, onClick attribute. So we have 1, 2, 3. I think I missed one here. OnClick append to display function. Why am I think that did not? Let's see why that's not working correctly on my end. Oh, okay, so that's missing the C there. Right, onlick. Those are two different things. So I'm just going to onClick so that we can find all of those. So 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, and the subtract character 7, 8, 9, and the asterisk character, and then let's have the 0, C, and then the equal sign, and then the /. So now, if we, on this part, we don't want to call the append, but instead we want to call the clear display function, right? And here we want to have that equal button that will be allowing us to calculate the value. So let's go put that there. And let's now try to test our simple calculator here. 1, and that's not working. That's because we don't have the script here yet, right? So now let's add to 1 plus 1 is equals to 2, minus 1 is equals to 1, multiplied by 5 is equals to 5, divided by 2 equals to 2.5. And we can clear our calculator, and that's our quick exercise for creating a very simple calculator here.